how you doing? I'm Chanel, known Hidden Lover. This is my first episode or live or whatever you want to call it. I call this the prescription, and basically the reason I'm doing this is because I decided that I wanted to start doing something and talking on subjects that are going to help us heal physically, emotionally, mentally, as well as spiritually. So I'm going to be bringing in people. I'm going to help us speak on all different facets, whether it's about learning how to take care of ourselves, whether it's learning about herbs, whether it's learning about things in the community to help us, resources, just general talks about all kind of different things that are going to help us grow emotionally, help us grow mentally, help us grow spiritually, help us change physically so we can heal so many facets of ourselves. I mean, I went live and I lost the last live, so I'm starting over. But I'm actually glad, because if you can't see this beautiful view right here, it must have been meant for this to be redone. Like, it's gorgeous where I'm at right now, and you see the sunset. So I don't have much light, but I'm gonna make this one a little quicker than the last one. So basically, what I'm going to talk about today is being judged by how you look and treated according to that perception versus being treated for who you are, or rather being treated as an equal, but no regardless, and only that being changed by the content of the person you are. So just in general, when we think about prejudice and discrimination, we've all experienced it. And it happens in so many forms, whether it's the car we drive, whether it's the color of our skin, whether it's how we wear our hair, whether it's how we look, dress, the shape of our body, the size of our body, by our job, the lack of job, what we do for a living. We all have experienced it in some form of fashion in various levels. But I will ask you, how does it make you feel? How many times when you receive that feeling or that judgment, was it wrong? Was it unjustified? Was it even necessary? And then you go to think, who gives you the right to judge me? Who gives you the authority to make that decision? Because honestly and truly, we're not here to judge anyone. Judge ye unless we need to be judged. I don't really get into spiritual talk all the time, but at the same time, the principle still applies in this situation, as in many situations. And then when you go to think about being judged, the different feelings that accrue from that. And then you think, how can we judge someone by a cover and not their content? If you think of a book, do you judge the book by its cover and just buy it because it got a pretty cover? Oh, it's a pretty picture. I bet you that's a good book. I have no idea what the book is about. Do you read the title? Do you know something about the author? Do you read the back of the book to get some content or some context clues about this book? Or do you even go as far as investigating by reading reviews, talking to other people who are book readers, book lovers, or know something about the subject you're looking at and see if that is a quality book or a good book? Or do you just pick it up? What if the book didn't have a cover and it was it was a solid hardback book and it just was all green and it had a little laurel in the middle? You wouldn't even have a picture to go off of. So you would definitely do the research to make sure you just didn't randomly pick a coverless book and walk out the bookstore with, right? So why do we do that with people? Why do you look at a cover and not the character? Not the content, not the personality, not the person they are. And not even the person they were, the person they are. But we judge people off of looks. We judge people by sight. This person looks this way. This person appears this way. This person is either elevated or diminished based on, do they have a Rolex on? Do they have real jewels around their neck? Or what we appear to think is real jewels, because we know a lot of people aren't wearing real. Do they have on a Ralph Lauren polo crew cut shirt? Do they have on Giuseppe shoes? Do they have on red bottoms? Do they have on just some regular stuff? Or how about they was running errands and they just dressed bummy today? Does that change your perception because they're not dressed neatly. They're dressed like they don't care, which they probably shouldn't go out the house like that, but we've all been victim of that. But do you treat them different? If they came to you with advice or a situation, would you listen to it? Or would you judge them by what they look like? Not knowing you're talking to a CEO, you're talking to a boss, but they just dressed bummy today, but they didn't tell you that. Those are the more glaring things, and I get delved into some more subtle things that have a great impact, a lasting impact. So things that become ingrained in the membrane of the person who is affected more than the person who does it, because usually the person who does it, they either do it subconsciously or consciously. If you're doing it consciously, that makes you making a conscious effort to purposely hurt people. And that's something you need to work on. And I can't really delve into that because that's a healing all in a whole nother episode. But there are people who hurt people or judge people subconsciously. And those people, you need healing yourself because you don't even realize what you're doing. You're just perpetuating discrimination, stereotypes, prejudices, the society norms without getting to know people. But how I would say to try to maybe look at it is, what happened and how did you feel when it happened to you? So you can start recognizing what you do and how it has a lasting effect sometimes on people. How it has an irradiating effect. And what I mean by irradiating is when you call someone a distress, or when you call someone to do something or change their way of thinking based upon what you've done, whether good or bad, that is becomes a part of them. And now they start doing that to other people, whether good or bad. So is that chain of reaction you are now setting off creating a more positive society, or is it creating and perpetuating more negativity in the world we live in today? Start thinking about the things we think and the things we do like that, because we're here to cause a chain reaction of positivity, of upliftment. We're here to uplift each other. We're here to help each other. We're here to bring each other closer and bless each other as we are blessed. We're not here to tear each other down. We're not put on earth for that. We're not here to step on each other's throats to get to the top. Why? Even though everybody has their own level, just like a pyramid, that still doesn't mean we have to stand on their necks to get to the top of the pyramid. Because we can be helped by others to climb. And so now I want to go into the side of how it hurts the person that receives it, because I feel like if you understand the receiving side, it'll show you not only how to heal yourself and to stop the perpetuation when it happens to you, but maybe you can realize how you can stop it and not do it to someone else. So these things can happen physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So what I'm going to delve into first is physically. So with physically, I'm going to start with something very generic, very easy to spot, which is the race, being discriminated against or being prejudiced against by your race. So when someone does that by your race, it creates a hate or disdain in the person possibly that receives it. It can be caused so many reactions. It can cause their shoulders to drop physically. It can cause their self-worth or their opinion to drop. It can also cause them to react physically by inciting violence or saying, a slew of words that are inappropriate, which perpetuates the person who did it to thus make them seem right. But it's just because that person reacted because they were hurt, and it doesn't mean that's their character. It just means that was their reaction because you hit a nerve. And truthfully, in the end, it's just someone who's judging you because they're being ignorant at that time, or they're being uneducated, or truly they might possibly just be trying to draw you out of your character so that they can perpetuate this demeanor if they're doing it consciously, or can perpetuate this stereotype because they want it to be true. So with that being said, I'm going to go into quickly, because I believe my laptop, my iPad is about to die, so I'm going to hurry up. I'm going to go into quickly spiritually how people come to spiritual places or spiritual people to be helped, and they're looked down upon because of how they're presented, whether they may be high, maybe they be intoxicated, maybe they be dirty, maybe they be stink, maybe they're just not in the place they need to be, that people quote unquote deem them need to be. If they're coming to a place of worship or coming to a spiritual person, who else are they supposed to go to receive that help? But they're being judged by what they look like or how their appearance is being presented. We're not here for that. We're here to open our arms to everyone. We're here to welcome everyone so that they can all grow, just like you've had helping hands and helping times in your life when you were down or when you weren't, in different situations, whether high or low, no matter what, we've all had help from someone. And to turn your back on someone because you don't deem them worthy or you deem them lesser because of how their appearance is wrong. And what you do inside is you can create a lower value in their self that in turn either can make them turn against the spiritual healing that they were seeking, or it can make them perpetuate and fall further into that spiral that they are already trying to get out of, and they're begging for help. So I'm going to leave this short and say, we're here to help. We're not here to judge. So if you're judging people subconsciously, consciously, whatever, don't do it, because the person that you're judging could be a blessing to you. It could be someone who was sent to help you in your situation, but you judged them wrong. It could be someone who needs you to be their blessing, and that's who you say you want to be, but you judge them based on what they look like. So keep that in mind. We're not here for that. We're here to love everyone. And this is the wrap up for today. As always, light and love. Y'all have a wonderful day.